DECA is a residents association that was formed just about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
I moved into the neighborhood about 6.5 years ago or 7 years ago, and I noticed that the commercial strip didn't have too much going on there. There were a lot of empty shops and graffiti, things like that, but it had a feel still of a really interesting neighborhood.
I was off on maternity leave with my first baby, and I was walking around and started seeing some unsavory things on the street, and I thought, you know, this area needs a residents association and maybe I can help kickstart it. So I started meeting with some neighbors around my dining room table, and we decided to have a meeting. We put up some signs. We expected maybe 20, 30 people. 130 people came out to the first meeting.
I thought I had kind of died and gone to heaven because it was like meeting a whole bunch of people who shared a lot of the concerns that I've had in terms of ways to build community in the neighborhood, supporting local shops, to make it a community.
This was really the thing that brought people out. They want a commercial neighborhood to reflect the residential neighborhood. Also, I think it was like they want to know their neighbors. There's a real sense of community here, and people want to get involved. But usually it's the businesses or the BIAs or, you know, politicians that try and beautify a streetscape like this. It's not the residents.
Catherine Porter started talking about an initiative that she had seen in Parkdale where there were some storefront revitalization projects happening, and I said to her, well, if we ever go in that direction, I'd like to recommend a store.
It's a special Italian supermarket.
There was this little grocery store that we're standing in now called Michael's Meats and Deli that I used to come across to just to get kind of an emergency onion or a tomato or the odd can of things, but I never really did much shopping here because it seemed kind of old and crowded, and I guess I always wondered how fresh the stock would be. It just didn't seem very inviting for doing much shopping.
Still afraid at the beginning to come to a new country, yeah, because we don't have no family, no friends, and a new language.
I was noticing a lot of kind of specialty products from Italy that were like real treasures to find, and I realized what a gem the store was.
Ellen, one of our new members, had a relationship with the owners here, and they wanted to do something different. And so she started talking to us about it, and I was like, well, hey, I got this proposal, and we could do it. Maybe we could do it among DECA members as a first one.
DECA asked me, you like to change the store from outdoor or indoor? I say, for my peer, I like to change everything.
One of the dilemmas that they were always saying is how they lacked time to do some of the things that they wanted to do. They did have ideas for the store, but they were working 75 or 80 hours a week.
We put out the call, and the response was mind-blowing. Right away, just like the action started. We got a stager, we got 2 graphic designers, we got a professional brander, market brander.
My skill set is I'm a business development director, doctors of businesses in some sense. We go in and we fix any problems inside, so the consistency of brand delivery is at every touch point.
A lot of the products are coming out of communities in Italy that have been making these products for generations. There are certain kinds of pastas, certain cheeses that you might only be able to get in 1 or 2 towns in Italy. What they had here, even though it was old world, could really appeal to the younger, newer world kind of clientele if the educational gap or cultural gap could be bridged.
Improve the store, not just staying the same old style, but we're gonna move face to the community, young generation. So we need some change.
We've taken out a lot of the stuff that were blocking the front of the store, so you can now see in right through the store.
And people, when they pass by, they can see inside. And to show people we have fresh bread every day.
There was just stuff everywhere that hadn't been moved since the 60s. There was Ajax down there in piles. You couldn't see over the counter.
It's more organized now than before. People coming in for shopping, it's easy for them to find whatever they like.
Within a week, we had redone the front. Within 2 weeks, we had restarted decluttering the store. And within a month and a bit, we're painting.
I like to paint. Yesterday night when I'm trying to sleep, I can't sleep. I just trying to remember how I'm thinking about painting.
one of the graphic designers found out that the company that built the Danforth here was called the Plank Road Building Company. And so he came up with Plank Road Market.
I'm lucky I find DECA, and the DECA helped me a lot.
There seems to be almost like a coalescing of forces happening. I don't know if you've ever read the book The Tipping Point, where one or two things can create a momentum where things start to happen very quickly. I think something like this particular storefront renewal project could act as a tipping point.
And who knows where it's going to go. Like, you got a good idea, you live in the area, you want to join, you need some publicity and a little bit of help to do it. If it's a good idea, like, bring it on, we're ready.
See, that's why I love to make friends. Sometimes friends give me chance. I join the DECA, I feel love.
Although I live in the big city, it's really small town feel here.
I have a lot of hope for this area in the next 5 years. I think we're going to see huge changes.
I think just being a local, trying to improve your local area and make it walkable. That's, essentially environmental, isn't it?
I'm so excited.